I'll do the 11th. You took a winner on the.
Trader Sync's taking forever to fucking start up. My last winner was the 11th, $53.
It's a reclaim level retest.
I don't even remember this one, to be honest.
I have the chart for this.
The last trade I took was on the 20th, though. The last winner.
Yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday. I was looking at the first trade.
Which we already went over downs.
Oh, yeah, I took this one at yesterday's highs.
What time did you get in on this one?
Got in at 7:10. Exited 7:56. 40 minutes, dude. I got in at yesterday's.
Maybe it's not the. I'm just trying to. Seven, 10. I'll go to 640.
See, this is actually the one I'm talking about, where it doesn't pull back all the way. Because I wanted, my key level was yesterday's highs, and it didn't pull back all the way, so I had to get a shittier entry 2 points above.
Was the 11. Bitch ass.
This is where it just tapped the 2 hour and just rallied up.
I forgot about this. So this is that 2 hour here. Why won't it do the fucking? Bookmaps. Oh, it hasn't fully loaded. That's why it's. Why is it lagging so much on this one?
You must have recorded a bunch of it.
I'm gonna just play it.
You probably recorded like a good like maybe 2-3 hours.
Oh yeah, possibly. This shit is dumb slow.
Dude, all my shit has been slow lately.
Y'all need to get that new Mac
Bro.
laptop.
How's your new computer working anyways?
It's cool, but I still haven't transitioned everything to it. Like right now, when I use it, I just use it for NinjaTrader and the chat when I'm with you guys. But I still use the computer for all the other stuff. I'm just used to it.
Shit, you'll probably keep your new computer faster if you just use what you're using for it.
Yeah, but I've been wanting to like slowly transition just so I can like, because I wanted to like when I want to study off the laptop, but I don't have any of the Bookmap recordings on it.
Oh yeah.
Alright, it's coming down here. $60.38. Come on.
$60.38 was supposed to be my actual entry, but that shit went way too quick.
CVD's making higher lows for now. Not no more. Here's that drop. Let's go 2 minutes.
Shit, maybe it didn't go quick. What the fuck? What the hell? Why didn't I take it?
And this is X4.
What the hell? Wait, why didn't I take that?
But Eloy, see how here you got that aggressive selling, super hard. CBD, I mean, the shift in buyers, the buying isn't as high volume here. Maybe that's why you hesitated. I'm not sure. But you can see the buying starting to shift in here. The only thing, I mean, you do see the CVD rising, but you don't see that clear higher low in this case, unless maybe if you can probably. Nah, you don't see the higher low on the CVD as clear.
It's essentially the same setup as the previous one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that other one wasn't making a very clear higher low either, but that rise in CVD was a lot. Was like
But you can label
high.
this traps. But you can label this as trap sellers.
Exactly, yeah. Look at all this selling that was happening, and then buyers started to shift in at demand.
Limit orders appear. 60/40.
Oh, I forgot to label yesterday's high. What'd you say right now?
Limit orders starting to appear to hold price up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but yesterday's highs and yesterday's lows are always key for me. So if I miss the demand under, I'll take the yesterday's highs.
Same. That's where I'm saying if you miss this long here, then you can now, okay, I missed the trap sellers. Now let me look for a reclaim level retest at yesterday's high. So now we're looking for a pop up above yesterday's high to pull back and hold with aggressive buying here. But see how I'm able to label it now? Okay, boom, I missed the trap sellers. So now my mind switches to, okay, now let me look for reclaim level retest. I'm not
Yes.
just looking for areas. I'm like labeling what I'm looking for.
Yes.
And Gabe, when you were
You have to take.
saying
What was that?
when you were saying that sometimes it doesn't come back, like it won't. Right, this probably won't come back to that green box. But
Yeah.
fuck, what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, when that happens, like let's say it did go back, wouldn't something's been in my head of like when Eric says like, oh, you probably already missed the move. So if it were to
Well,
come
you
all the
have to
way
get
back down
target
after an
hit.
aggressive push, could it be that it might just break through the second time around?
Well, that's the thing. You have to gauge how many points it rallies up, because this could not be the move. This could be like, say it goes up only 5 points, it rallies 5 points, it looks like you missed it, but then it comes back and retests it to get the real move. That could be something. But if it goes up too high, say if it breaks yesterday's highs, then that's for me. For me, that's a key level. That's a strong resistance. So if market breaks above that, then I'm not waiting for a price to go back to the demand zone because it's already broken through another key level.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is my focus. Yesterday's highs is my focus now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Say it didn't hit yesterday's high though, and like you're saying, it does come back into this demand zone. Here, what I would really want to see is make sure CBD doesn't drop lower
Oh
than
yeah,
where it previously was. If it dropped like to around here and price came into this demand zone and I see buyers starting to step in again, that's a good sign that it could still rally again one more time.
yeah. That's I forgot about that. It's just every little confirmation tells you a little part of the story. You just gotta put the puzzle pieces together, and that's the hard part.
See, my mind just naturally wanted to zoom in right now, and I was already on the 2 minute.
But once it
So,
breaks another key level, I'm not focused on the first key level anymore.
yeah,
So right
now
now,
right here, the reclaim of yesterday's high, now we'd be looking for a pullback to hold yesterday's high.
yes,
And it would probably be the
it
volume at
consolidates.
like it'd probably be the volume at the 46s. No, that would keep it up if it was to support it.
The limit orders.
No, I guess that just did show up, but like the volume on SVP, like that kind of lets you know if as long as it stays above this, it's going to be supported.
Oh, yeah, the low value node, yeah. So if it breaks that, yeah, it's a bunch of volume right there.
That's just confirming the direction for the moment, right? Like if we're long
No,
bias.
no, 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 no. One confirmation does not confirm the moment. You have to look at all of them and combine them to confirm the direction of the market. You can't focus on one confirmation and say, okay, that if it doesn't pass that, market's going up. That's not true. If it or if it doesn't pass it, market can still there's still passive buyers hiding in the shadows at the top. Like a large passive buyer, a large passive seller can just shoot the market straight down, even if it retested the volume right there and didn't pass it.
I guess
There's huh?
I'm not sure if I asked it correctly, but like if we already missed the first move at the demand box and then now it's above yesterday's high and we're still looking for longs because we still think the direction is going to go up. And you're saying you'll wait to see if it doesn't pull back to yesterday's high. At this moment, does the volume on the SVP around the 60.45, 60.46 kind of confirm if you're going to, like if it breaks that, then does that invalidate your long bias? Or is that what you're explaining right now?
Well, the thing that's like standing out is you're saying, does that confirm? Nothing confirms anything.
No. But
You
okay,
know,
so then, but does it invalidate your long bias?
well, I would have to see the price action. If selling's weak and it passes there, because selling can break that volume and then get bought up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good sign for longs if it gets bought up really fast after breaking it.
Yeah, but see if it passes that, because I know what you're saying. Because like we're looking for longs here, it passes those limit orders, it passes that volume. You're like, oh, invalidate that. It's just going lower. I get that, but like I said, there's passive buyers as well, hiding in the shadows. They can scoop that shit right back up.
Mhm.
You have to gauge what all your confirmations are doing. If they're aligning, you have to see what action is doing all at once. So don't
Hey, what was your,
invalidate. Huh?
I was just gonna say, what was your entry?
Oh, my entry. I got a shitty entry at 60, 51, 75 because I saw it rally after that little consolidation and it never went back to yesterday's highs.
At what time?
At 7:10.
What made you avoid this? This would have tricked me.
Dude, I don't remember. Plus, and I'm in the 30 seconds too, so I don't know what it looked like.
See here, Eloy, what sticks out to me is this super aggressive selling that occurred, and the market struggled to continue breaking lower. That was that now that we reclaimed yesterday's high, pulled back aggressively here, got bought well, got bought up with this pop, and then it tries to push lower still, but selling volume isn't continuing. Now I want to see an aggressive shift of buyers step in to hold this up, which is what eventually happens. I just don't know.
I definitely got in after the aggressiveness happened and it pulled back a little bit and I
Here
realized
it's here it's starting to happen. Look at this volume compared to what's happening, and then oh, what the fuck? I'm confused right now.
oh yeah, I got in at the limit orders. It rallied above yesterday's highs, the aggressiveness, the shift started to happen, and then it pulled back and I saw like large limit orders appearing, like the hard red ones, and that's when I entered. I remember that now.
They start right here. They started to build up like that.
No, after the move happens, the first green bar, then it pulls back. Let me get my chart. The first green bar that rallies, and then the second green bar it comes back down, and the limit orders appear. So around here, you might have to zoom into 30 seconds though, because
I was
that's
just
where.
gonna point this out here. On this aggressive pullback here, it breaks under yesterday's low, and then on this reclaim, look at how these limit orders start to stack up right as price starts to rally.
Not only that, but that there's an outlier right there, a 1,000 lot seller right
Here,
there.
boom, boom, boom. That's a good sign. This, like,
Yeah. So at 7:10, so it pulls back around somewhere right there. I got it right there.
and look, this is on the 2 minute, so you could still see it on the 2 minute.
Yeah. So that's when I knew, oh, okay, it's not going to get lower. And I saw the volume shift. CBD rose above the zero line, creating higher highs. I was like, okay. Even with that pullback, a higher low.
Oh yeah, that was a good entry. I feel like this
The best entry would have
over
been the
here.
2 hour.
Oh yeah, but I feel like this action over here, we kind of be anticipating for buyers to step in, whereas here buyers clearly stepped in.
Yeah.
And
And that limit order.
that O print would have been
But
scary.
I do think I would have been tricked by this pop, either one of these pops here.
Dude, I'm trying not to get tricked by those, but they fucking trick me, dude.
Yeah, I don't know how to avoid that.
I know.
But this is clearly a reclaim level retest. And the way those limit orders stacked up underneath was a very good sign, especially after 1,000 lot seller tried to break under yesterday's high and failed.
But that's what I'm saying. See that passive 1,000 watt seller that just appeared trying to hold price down and it didn't. And even the buying looks weak, but it was more aggressive.
Yeah.
See, anything can happen. Even if it passes the large volume on SVP, it'll just pay attention to what everything's doing.
CBD was a little harder to catch here, but it did rise super fast. That's why I'm saying here where you entered was clean for this move because CBD was clearly pushing up aggressively. You had those limit orders stack up, aggressive sellers tried to break and failed. Everything lines up. See how right now when I'm explaining it, Eloy, I'm able to just point out one thing after another. Whereas the short that we were explaining that you took, it was kind of like, it kind of looks like it, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
That's what you want to be able to like clearly point out those confirmations. But obviously, in real time, it takes some practice. But that's why that review of Bookmap, you got to do it. And when you do review Bookmap, I don't even know if you're still here, but when you review Bookmap,
He got
make sure
bored.
I'm right here.
when you do review Bookmap, make sure you point out those confirmations to yourself.
You
Yeah.
need that list, right?
Oh yeah. I pull up your screenshot. Oh, I took a screenshot of the setups, and then I kind of like study with that next to it.
Remember, if you can label it, then it's probably a good trade. If your confirmations are there. But you have to be able to label it.
And I would say just focus on absorption, whether it's at demand or supply, and a reclaim level retest or a LVN.
I was gonna say that Eric has in the trading playbook, he has all his setups. I only focus on trap sellers, trap buyers, and the reclaim level retests. I don't do the LVNs or the other stuff. I have
Yeah,
two setups.
definitely. Even ChatGPT said my better setups are the absorption at demand or supply or the reclaim level retest. Like those tend to be the A+ one.
Yeah.
And just looking at Gabriel's past two trades, one was an absorption at demand, and this one was a reclaim of yesterday's high.
Yeah. But you notice how in both these key levels, key zones, these were both my keys. You can see clearly the confirmations on two different setups.
Yep.
Yep. Pretty good.
Any question? That's all I got, bro.
No,
I think that's a good one.
yeah, this was a little different from just typical review or trade. So I was glad we were. I didn't trade that much, so this was like a lot of useful information. This week.
Yeah.
Damn, this makes me nervous seeing this because I know this is gonna want to trick me.
I know.
Shit pisses me off. But yeah, going into next week, I'm really want to make sure I use that zoom on the 2 minute rather than zooming in two extra. And
Yeah.
just make sure Valium and CBD are the first confirmations that I'm looking for, and then let limit orders be that third. And if LVN there, that's just like another plus to my level.
Yeah. I have to work on not getting in too early and not being tricked and just focusing on the setups that I take and trying to train my eyes to see the confirmations. Pretty much it.
I wrote down during this review to just this week focus on the key levels, like the supplier demand zones. Like, be patient enough to see what happens there. Which sucks because in the mornings, I'm not patient enough to wait for it to get to my levels. But if it opens up already near my levels, like I'm too afraid. I'm like, I'm just gonna see if it breaks or not, and then eventually like get in later. Like in the morning, if it starts at my supply zone or my demand zone, I don't want to take trades because of the whole idea of don't trade in the morning, like at the open.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true.
But I'm starting to notice things that can stand out. I'm still afraid to do it, but like I'm like, I think it's gonna. I just try to create some analysis, but still avoid taking the trade at the open.
Well, also consider like the labeling of the setup. Like, are you able to call it a absorption at a supply zone, or are you able to call it a reclaim level retest? Like that also will help you avoid taking unnecessary trades.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would really emphasize moving forward, like making sure you label what your setup is. That's why I don't know if you've realized recently I've started every time I post my trades, like I'll name it what it was.
Yeah, I've been trying to start doing that too. I sometimes forget though. But yeah, I've been trying. I think I did on my last one.
It just helps my eyes remember next time I see it.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Yep. That's it.
Yep. I don't got much else other than making sure I wait for those key confirmations of Valium and CBD. That's like my main thing I want to focus on making sure. And the Zoom.
One thing though I forgot to mention on this trade, this retest trade, look at the LVN. I labeled this at LVN, but I was probably reaching right there in between 47, 60, 47, 60, 48. Yeah. Would you consider that LVN or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
would?
do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it bounced
Okay,
at it
good.
perfect.
What one thing I've realized though with when like when the move already happened, sometimes the LVN isn't there prior. Like here. Oh no, it is there though. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
here,
know what you're
LVN.
saying. Sometimes it does make it.
Yeah, it'll after the move, then the
Yeah.
LVN pulls up, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know if it was there or not.
So if that happens, would you count that as a confirmation? Because it wasn't there
No,
prior to the trip. Okay, good. All right.
I try not to. But in this case, yeah, I would consider that LVN for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was just reaching because it looks small.
And the way it pulled back to it too was super clean.
Yeah, I think Eloy said that.
But anything else?
Pretty much it.
Good shit, fellas.
Eloy?
No, I'm good.
For sure.
I'm stepping it up this week. I had a bad week, but I got a lot of shit going
It was
on
a
over
weird
here.
week.
There was 3 different people living in my house throughout the last month,
Damn.
and one time they took over my office space, so I had to just adjust to a different move and stuff like that.
Damn, you have a hostel or what?
Pretty much, bro. You're lucky you're the youngest sibling. You don't got worried by anyone younger than you, Eric.
That's true. I always forget you're the youngest one. You're fucking old now.
Old ass food.
Fuck yeah. Hey, you're gonna be at